Hey there, guys, gals, fans, and pals. Your buddy JohnMegacycle here. This is the summary video for our OpenTTD tournament called Tiny Transports. Tiny Transports. Yeah, this was an interesting one. The idea of, Tiny Transportation, I think, is technically what I called it. This was an interesting one. It was a lot of the same rules that we've played in the past. 20-year game duration, half a million USD in debt you can go, and just a small map, really. So limited towns, limited resources. Players are going to have to be a lot more creative this run. I don't know what I was trying to say there. This time, there we are, to ensure they can turn a profit. A couple of other things to note is we turned on inflation. We turned on maintenance costs high. This was a bit more of a difficult one. We had some new players this time, so I kind of feel bad. We did have some bankruptcies. But that's kind of the fun of the thing, right? That's my opinion. Anyway, like it'd be if it's too easy and everyone's winning all the time, we got to change it up. So this was an interesting one. It was recommended by the dude, though I think there was a miscommunication when we started. I think the dude said like, "Hey, you could either super small or high difficulty when it comes to, you know, interest rates and all that." And I did both. We did both. So this is going to be interesting. Let's go ahead and get started. The first server is Guild Games. If you see the passwords, it's not that big of a deal. The tournament's already done and over with. By the time this gets out, won't really super matter. Central Spaghetti is the name of this corporation. Guild Games, again, just to mention that. Yeah, this is the whole map. This is 128 by 128. There are not a lot of frills here. I'm actually going to turn on some lo-fi music. Okay. Bit of a weirdness there. I turned on lo-fi, then my OBS crashed. Anyway, right to it. So, 128 by 128. What you see is what you get. This is it. I can't zoom in anymore. I don't know why I can't. I don't know if it's my monitor. I don't get what the deal is, but I can't zoom in anymore. This is it. So we have very limited stuff. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe the resolution's too low. But we have literally like one of every resource, and like that's it. One iron ore mine, one coal mine, one factory, two farms, which we also had in my run. One power or two power plants, one sawmill, one steel mill, no oil rigs, one oil wells. Yeah, it's been a bit tough. So we'll see that here how this worked out. So this is Guild Games' file. And Windway, yeah. This is kind of what I expected. A lot of trains moving as much as they possibly can around. Yeah, this is the normal way to build up a city. You have a train or a truck. We've seen, I think it is Bo Gus who does the train station. And all you're trying to do is move one passenger through 5 stops. And when you have multiple stops like this, it becomes easier and easier to do. But that's what this is all about. Yeah, we're just going to go through. I mean, there's not a ton I really need to explore here, really. This is probably going to be a lot quicker of a summary in terms of how people have played, but I've said that before, and that's been not really the case. So, looks like we've got some docks here. I can barely hear that lo-fi. Hold on. Okay, I just want some background. That's all I'm looking for. And now it's too loud. Holy crap. Okay, there we go. So this is gonna, yeah, passenger, right? All laid out already. They went through. Just to explain this part, the city layout is 3x3. If you're unfamiliar with what that means, realistically, the town and the cities and etc. will expand in a 3x3 manner. 3 squares, right? If you hear some noises behind me, Nico has the sneezies. That's what's up with that. So, that's what's going on. So some of the players will build out that frame, that 3x3. And the idea of doing that is we don't want the city to spend its building time trying to build roads. If we can build roads in advance, awesome, perfect, great stuff, right? So we got a bunch of passenger routes. Let's take a look at some goods and stuff. That's interesting. Natural preserve, maybe? If we're playing Factorio, clearly a good strat to cut down pollution, but we're not playing Factorio. Let's see what else we got here. So we've got full goods, any cargo. This is a goods train, am I right? For sure. Let's see where you're taking that, buddy. Whatever. X Springs. That's what I'm calling that. And then where is the woods? 575 tons. Man, some of these other players do way better than me when it comes to production. And I'm still really curious as to how that happens. Man, this is incredible. What we'll do for that is we will actually check out, I think it is this. Sort by production. And you can see really quickly here how much is going on. Goods will produce based on how much stuff is delivered. So that's less of a thing I'm aiming for. But yeah, we've got some stuff here. No valuables, no iron ore, no oil, no steel was done here. It was just wood and passengers and everything in that regard. There's really nothing for me to show, right? This is probably a transfer station. What is this thing doing? Passengers and mail. Really? No. Coal. Oh, coal's right here. Haha. Right. I pay attention real good. Oh, it's camouflaged. You have a camouflaged coal plant. Look at that. Yeah. So like I said, a lot of this is going to be just transporting people and goods around to do the stuff and things, right? So grain, livestock, steel. This is livestock and grain cars. Yep. Real easy there. This is taking the goods, probably to X-Y again. X whatever. That's all there is to that. Okay, let's take a look at their storybook. We can see how well they've done. Very good growth. Yeah. 484 million, I think might be their end score. We'll check that in just a second here. But yeah, that works out really, really well. I really like that. Yeah, let's get their actual totals. I'll get these jotted down here. I forgot to write these down. We are looking for 484 million. Let's worry about the points. Why not? 0.3. These are also expressed in United States dollars, USDs. I know a lot of the other players play in either British pounds or euro or whatever. I believe the conversion is literally 1 to 2. So it's half as much British pounds or whatever when it comes to that. So if we said 500 million USD, it'd be 250 million pounds, and that's kind of all there is to that. Not much frills there. Let's take a look on shared orders. Shared orders, there we go. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a different one because there's not going to be tons and tons of the same train, right? We're not going transatlantic distances, right? We're not going cross-continent distances. This is a much smaller map, so you only need maybe 4 or 5 trains to do the job. So that makes sense why these numbers are a lot lower than some of our other tournaments where we played on 1K and even larger maps. So that all tracks right there. Let's see here. We talked about the global storybook. We talked about... I think we've gotten everything. There's really not a lot for me to dig into this. That's why I'm kind of like, this is really it. Everything's tight. Everything's calculated. Guild Games is a very, very skilled gamer. So everything here... I'm very confident they just built it once and it was just done. Personally, I had to redo mine a couple of times. But either way, yeah, well, let's talk about the docks. Because I don't think I would see anyone else do dock stuff. But we'll see. So this is passenger stuff. Windworth docks. Oh. Oh, okay, cool. Windworth. Windward buoy. X-Weight springs. Windworth buoy. Docks. Buoy. Yeah, simple stuff, right? Nothing wrong with that. Probably also something down here. Indeedly do. Let's grab one of these. Talk to you. Probably same deal. Windworth, Breedtown. Yep. A lot of really great potential doing it with ships. Ships don't collide. There's a lot of transportation games where you have to really care about collision. Ships don't care. You can stack ships on ships on ships. It doesn't matter. When it comes to trains, oh dang, you gotta care. And also trucks can't clip each other either, but they don't explode. So that's kind of that is all there is to that. Anything else on this one? I don't get what these 2 red things are up here. They're just trees on trees, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Thank you, Guild Games, for yours. I've got you in at 484 million, 0.3. Badoom. What the heck? Oh, yes. Whoops. I thought it said, do you want to save? I'm like, of course I don't want to save. This is the dude. The dude is Market Zero. Market Zero is a fine reference Walter from The Big Lebowski. Walter was played by John Goodman, if memory serves, and there was a foul play, and Walter stood up and shouted, "Market Zero!" An interesting movie. I'm going to leave it at that. So Market Zero for the dude. Oh, does that mean I can mark the dude as zero? Is that... Oh, dude, it's weird. You had zero money. Huh. Yeah, someone with a gun and a fishing vest came to me and said Market Zero. 1,327.8 million. Big ups. Big ups there. Let's take a look at the trades and stuff, right? Let's talk about their storybook first. Wow, 200 million every single month. Look at that. That's insane. Ending at the total? Yeah. Freaking crazy. Freaking crazy. All right, Market Zero. There's that. Let's talk about the shared train orders. Looks like passenger. Yep, passenger and mail, I believe. I think the back ones are the passenger ones. Yep, mail and passengers. There we go. The PAX ones are going to be really strong winners in this one because it's consistent and it is an ever-growing industry. I do see a couple of dead trains there for whatever reason. But let's take a look at their layout, right? Now, this is slightly different than we already saw, right? I think every player is going to be mostly similar. I don't think the game will scrap industries if it's truly the last industry. I could be wrong on that. But if there's only like one coal mine left, it won't sacrifice the coal mine. The coal mine will just be there. At least that's what I experienced in my run. So if there's one that gets built, a second one gets added, for example, then either could be up for demolition, but it'll most likely demolish the first one if you haven't been paying attention to it. So just as a sidebar, I didn't pay attention to my coal. I didn't touch my coal power plant at all, but it never went away. So I don't think the game will actively destroy lines. So this is another PAX line. Yep, mail and passengers for sure. This probably goes all the way around to the other side of the world, and it does. Just right there. Easy stuff. Lots of good connections. Yeah. So I had a farm. Yeah, so there's the farm. Oh, let's talk about industry before I get too much more crazy. Sort by production. Crates of goods, grain, livestock, goods, coal, steel. Looks like everything got tapped here. They had multiple oil refineries, which is interesting. 0% transported. Okay, so that wasn't even used. Yeah, I don't think anyone's done steel so far, or oil. I certainly haven't. Let's see, what is this about? Curious, accepts coal. Oh, was there a coal mine over here? Maybe there was a coal mine over here. What the hell is that? Oh, thanks, John. What in the hell is that? I don't get what this is. I don't know if I should get what that... It's a butterfly? It's a face? It's a... I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay, so y'all are getting coal. That makes sense. And then it's being dropped... Oh, it's being dropped off here. This is the drop-off. So I don't get what this is about, though. Maybe there was something else here. Maybe another power plant for that to be a thing? I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can maybe hypothesize an idea. Maybe to make the station farther away by a couple of blocks so you make more money? This game works on a very simple principle. How much money or how much freight you have, how far are you taking it, how fast did you take it? Like, if you really want to break it down to real simple stuff, if you're trying to show someone how to play the game, that's a good thing to know. How much are you taking? How far are you taking it? How much, also, how long did it take? Because that also affects the valuation of the stuff. Just as a little bit of a sidebar, stuff degrades over time. Let's see here. It is somewhere, cargo payment rates. This is the chart that'll show how quickly stuff should get to where it's got to go and how much you're bringing for it to be of how much money, right? So payment for delivering 10 units of cargo, distance of 20 squares. This is the days in transit, and this is the money. So as you can see here, stuff that is higher valuated degrades a little bit faster. In this case, valuables. If you can get valuables from A to B real fast, it pays very well. There's a couple things that block that out. Valuables are hard to come by because a city has to build a bank, which isn't necessarily difficult, but it can be a little unpredictable. Aside from that, goods are the next highest one, but they also have a sharp drop. A lot of these other commodities have a much smoother go, like oil, for example, clicking it on and off there. Mail is another good one right there. Really smooth decline, right? So even if it takes a while for you to get the stuff from A to B, it's not that big of a deal. This stuff doesn't, I think the word is like decay or rot. It doesn't go bad. So anyway, there's that. Other than that, another really great play by the dude. This looks like a little slice of hell. Look at all this nonsense. So based on their train routes, packs are really the way to go. Passenger and mail. Yeah, 80 million on passenger stuff. That's pretty nuts. The good stuff, I don't see any goods really on here. Maybe goods weren't even a factor. What are these? Are these goods trains? These are goods trains, yeah. Which is still an impressive cut of coin. 10 million. Not too bad. Actually, just to highlight the difficulty of this one, let's crack open a train, and I'll show you some of the stuff, just to give you an idea of how much this all works. So at the very top, the running cost, that's what we set to high. So this train has to make at least 150,000 a year, or it's not cutting mustard. The route's just not worth it, right? You're actually losing money for the route. So you just got to customize the route or whatever. But again, this worked out really well. So passenger is, that's good language right there. Passenger routes are great. There we are. Because you can take freight both ways, right? Pick up one place, go to another drop off, pick up, drop off. You constantly have some amount of freight. So that works out really well. Okay. Good stuff. Let's move on to the next. We've only been 2 players in. This has already been 20 minutes. Again, I was hoping this was going to be a little quicker because of the size of the map, but that's okay. Cinder Elm Creek was unfortunately unable to make it work. Ah, I see why. Yeah, they got bankrupt pretty quick. $2. $2 is you're not making any money because your debt overtakes your funds. Yeah. Now, you might be asking, hey, John, you said $500,000 for the maximum debt. How come Cinder Elm Creek or these other players can have more loan? Well, it's a magical one-word phrase called inflation. Inflation makes everything a little less valuable over time. So that makes it kind of difficult. But Cinder Elm Creek being over their limit, yeah, we've already hit max. There's nothing else they can do. And they're super broke. So unfortunately for them, they were unable to qualify. So we're going to go ahead and spectate again. It'd at least be cool to see their thought pattern. So let's go through the process all the same. So $2, yep. A couple of road pieces, couple of station tiles, and 2 airports. Let's go ahead and check out their book. Income of $1 million, which wouldn't be terrible. The problem is the airports are stupidly expensive. I would show you, but I think the upkeep of these are like $600,000 a year. So in addition to the airplanes themselves needing to maintain their own running costs, you also need to make sure you take care of this airport. Now, this is actually a really great strat because they built the airport very close to the town, and as the town expands, that's a perfect way to play. The problem is with the higher maintenance costs, the inflation, all that other bull, it makes it a little more difficult to get off the ground with starting with aircraft. But either way, valiant attempt. Let's see, what else do we want to talk about? The only shared routes we really have are these vehicles, right? I don't think there are any. Oh, there is one. There's an aircraft. Let's go ahead and check it out. Running costs, $237 a year. Profit this year, $263, right? So even with that million, 1.1 million, if that was the deal, problem still remains. It'd be very difficult to also subsidize the airports themselves. So, sorry, Cinder Elm Creek. Good try, though. I think this one was tough. This one was definitely tough. But still, good effort. Like I said, I think all in consideration, that's a great way to start a run. But the extra infrastructure costs and everything is just brutal. This is Cybercycle with Psychotic Transport. Holy crap. Okay, someone got creative. Thanks, John. Daw. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, let's go through the numbers. Cybercycle at 429.4 million. They are 60 million short from Guild Games. That is a close fight. Oh, man. That is a close fight. 60 million does sound like a lot of money, but realistically, 1 or 2 more train routes at the beginning could have changed the whole thing. I don't know. But that's still really crazy. Yeah, that's really crazy. Let's take a look at the routes. Much cleaner. This is what I would expect from Cybercycle. Cleaner lines, right? When we see mine, you'll see it's absolutely spaghetti pants crazy all over the place. It's insane. So what do we got here? Iron ore goes to here. Drops off steel. Is steel being used? It's probably being picked up here? Nope, that's just coal. 0% transported. Okay, so the steel's not going anywhere. Totally cool, totally fine. It doesn't have to go anywhere. I'm just curious to pick apart stuff. A lot of passenger setup here. Really clean, really smart. Yeah. So passenger routes and mail. Yeah, absolutely. That's probably going to go all throughout everything, but end up in Reed Town for sure. And then Windworth, because that's about the there we go. That's about the farthest away you can get for the whole thing. Yeah, let's take a look at some of the train routes and stuff. Shared orders, sort descending. Yep, passenger, goods, passenger, right? This makes perfect sense. There's not enough raw industry to realize a ton of trains, right? There just isn't. We're not going to have 30 trains for lumber or goods. There's just not enough demand for it. There's not enough production. There's not enough everything. But Cybercycle did very well with the space. Of course, the trademark setup here. What is doing this? Oh, hold on. Okay, I think I can figure it out. This covers the that, and this covers... Oh, this covers the that. Okay, that's interesting. Man, I say it every single time. Every time I look at these things. This is actually our 16th tournament. 1-6. We hit this is 16. When I was looking at the calendar, I'm like, I think I've done like 9 of these or something by now. Huh. And then I looked at my saves because I save all the videos. It's like 16. Holy damn. Let's take a look at the storybook. Solid gains. Solid gains throughout, yeah. I think I'm noticing a trend about 45 to 65 vehicles is where people are at generally. I think that seems to be right about where we're at. Yeah, this is... If you showed me this map and said, whose is this? I would say this is Cybercycle's. Clean lines and everything. Yeah, also, another thing I learned. We'll talk about it during my run. But, okay, I gotta remind myself now. I started a sentence and then I just let it fart away. That just extends the coal. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, there's nothing really for me to discuss here, I don't think. This oil's not even being used. Yeah, no one really used the oil, right? There we go. Factory crates of goods, grain, livestock goods, livestock grain. Yep. That's about right. And no one used oil. Why can't I find it? Is there no oil on this map? Hold on. Wow, there's no oil. Now, on this map, the oil wells will eventually dry out and disappear. But again, I thought the whole rule of one industry all the time. I guess that doesn't count. All right, moving on. Well done, Cybercycle. Zemi Zeph, new player. They joined the Megacycle Entertainment public OpenTTD server, I want to say like 3 months ago or something. And they took to it very well. It's like, well, what do I do now? What do I do now? I'm like, here's how this goes, here's how this goes, and here's how you think. And I helped them out a little bit, but they really enjoyed their time. So I'm curious to see how this pans out. And considering this one was fairly brutal, I'm no joke. The maintenance cost and inflation can kick you right in the something. Real tough. Real tough. So let's check them out. Zemizev did not complete. They need to fit. They had 2 more months. Let's assume they had 2 more months. Oh. I think they are very bankrupt. They are bankrupt. Yeah, I just took out the rest of the money, and yeah, they can't. So they went bankrupt just at the tail end, which is unfortunate. But what is really cool to see is after a couple of the players said, "Hey, I went bankrupt. It sucks," the community replied. You know, like a couple of the people at Megacycle Entertainment said, "Hey, this was a tough one. Don't beat yourself up over it. There'll be another one in like a month, and try again. And don't feel too hurt about it." You know, so it's really great having such a helpful community. It really is. So this will be actually the first time I'll be taking a look at Zemizef's build. Like I said, they joined the public server, and it was a lot of learning, which again, awesome. And my theory is, or my stance on it is, we were all noobs at one time, right? At one time, everyone had to learn something. You know, whether you had someone help you or you learned it from scratch, whatever. So when it comes to someone learning something new, a new game, a new skill, a new whatever, I'm like, damn, that's exciting. Yeah. Are you excited about this? I'm excited about this. Let's do this. So I'm curious to see how this all works. So let's go through the numbers. Let's check their book. 2 million, 1 million. This is still a really great start. Like, honestly, with how much of a heavy maintenance cost there was going to be, I was almost saying, like, man, there might be zeros across the board. Who knows? But this is still a really great start for a new player learning a new game. They're doing quite well. Oh, they got the whole bus line thing going on. Look at this. It took me like 10 years to learn this, and they're already doing it. Look at that. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome as hell. Okay, we got some. Oh, actually, let's go through the rest of the stuff. We did the storybook. Let's do the routes. Yeah, let's do all the stuff. Shared orders, sort by number of vehicles. Let's see here. Okay, mixing some of the goods. That's a new way to play. Nothing wrong with that. I want to take a look at that route specifically. So nonstop, full load any cargo. Reed Town transfer, full load any cargo. So they're getting the oil there. Teatingstone East middle. Windway South. Okay, so this is maybe a little confusing for me. Reed Town transfer. So I'm going to just walk through because I'm not sure how... Oh, it goes around and in. Okay, cool. I figured it out. I was like, how the heck does this work? So they branch off here and they go in there, no problem. And then it's back to Windway South. Okay, that's cool. So they're dropping off all the stuff right here. Yeah, there's the oil. So where is the refinery? That's what I want to know. There are 2 Oh, that's also the refinery. Interesting. So they've actually taken one train and gave it 3 of these different routes, which is actually pretty damn smart. And I'll tell you why. One of the biggest things that will tank your profit margin is having a train picking up goods from one spot and hauling it somewhere else to sell it or drop it off or whatever, and then coming back empty. It's literally a train that could be making 50% more money if you were hauling literally anything back. It doesn't matter what it is, haul something back. So this can be taken care of in a couple of ways. One can be you have goods you pick up from a factory or whatever, haul it to the town on the other side of the map, and then pick up goods very close by from that town and haul it all the way back to the first place. Which means you have a train that is full about 90-95% of the time, right? So Zemi has actually taken care of some of that here by ensuring that every time the train is going somewhere, it's at least hauling something. I think that's a really creative way to try to handle that. So that's cool. That's something I think that for a new player to think like that, that's pretty dang impressive. It's not horizontal thinking, it's vertical thinking, right? I'm not going to put on my management hat to whatever, but that's kind of how that works. So trucks for a short route, that makes sense. Trains for a longer route, totally makes sense. Goods, I'm sure this is a goods train being dropped off. Bada bing, bada boom. Easy, just get the money in the bank, right? No problem. Very clean lines again. Yeah, very formal, very structured. I like clean lines, right? Like, I'm not going to go play Minecraft and spend 50 hours making a base look nice. Like, I'm a functional guy first. Does it function? If it does, we can take one piece out of the equation, put that back in after we've done some tweaking. Does it work? Awesome. Does it not work? We'll take it back out, mess with it some more. But this is a very straightforward way to play. This is nice. Zemi, thumbs up. Thumbs up, yo. I hope you join us for more tournaments. This was really cool to see your work. And yeah, I guess that's all I got to say. Let's see. We did the book. We did the peoples. We did the ordered list. I think that's everything for Zemizef. There's that. Oh, did I get the... Hold on. Did I get the name of the transportation company? Zemizef Transport. Okay, there it is. I did now. All right. So that is that. Next is Bogus. Let's see what Bogus has in store for us. Bogus for us. Oh, another player did the thanks, John, with the terrain and stuff. Very creative. Now I wonder if that's the same thing in Gil Games' game, right? Teensy weensy transport. Oh, just so teensy weensy. We got 251.6 mil USD. Look at that. The spread from... Yeah. Nope, I completely forgot where I was going with that. Still, excellent work. Let's go through the numbers. Bunch of rail pieces, bunch of everything. Yeah, I thought it also showed number of... Oh, it does. Oh my god, I'm tired. The number of vehicles is up here. Not down here. I was looking down here. I'm like, I thought this said the vehicles. Duh. Oh, man. It's either not enough coffee or too much coffee, and I personally cannot tell which is which until it's too late, right? Anyway, let's check out their storybook. Yep, seeing twos right out the gate makes a lot of sense because everyone's taking out big loans to get their infrastructure laid. This doesn't surprise me at all. If this is freaking anyone out, it isn't. It doesn't freak me out at all. Very consistent, very solid. 69 million a year. Nice. Still solid. Yep, 50 vehicles. Still right around like 45 to 65 vehicles seems to be about the sweet spot for a map like this, yeah? Let's check out some shared orders. Yep, as expected. Passenger. Looks like coal or iron ore. That's going to be goods. No mail? Interesting. Yeah, passengers from Windway Grand. I'm kind of curious, no mail routes. Anyway. Oh man, I got the most sad lo-fi music ever. What the hell? Okay, let's take a bit of a gander here. Solid work with signals as always. Again, Bogus also very straight lines and everything. One of the things that they do is this thing. They do this also with rail lines, and what it is the way in which you grow a town is you could just have a bus, 4 stops, ding, 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 right? They usually do this with trains, which I think is really freaking cool. Let's take a gander to see. Bus. Oh, I was hoping to see trains. It's totally fine. The thing of the matter is very solid city growth, which is more than enough passenger work and everything to get everything going on. And the first time, aside from Zemizef, the first other player that actually messed with oil. They actually have an oil field. Look at that. Look at that nonsense. I don't think anyone else had an oil field. Oil well, or oil rig. Right, I keep getting those messed up. I know the difference. But does the game know the difference? Goods, livestock, grain, coal, oil. Yeah. Checks out pretty well. And another one were oil, but it is not tapped. No. It does not appear tapped. So that's bringing the oil here. The goods are then going to XY at whatever. Springs Grand, right? And then jump to order 1 when load percentage is equal to 0. Go nonstop to Reed Town Grand. I'll be honest, I still don't really fully understand how this works. It's not dropping the stuff off, right? Let's see if I can figure this out. I wish my brain thought this way, because I think this is brilliant. Okay. These are both going to have the same orders. I was hoping I could see one at level 3. See, in my mind, if it goes here and picks up, and it goes here and drops off, it's always going to be load percentage equal to 0, isn't it? And then if it goes here, are goods being stored here? Accepts goods. I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway. Another thing, like I say, I sit down and I look at some of these and I learn more. I really want... That's something that I have a tough time learning, is the whole... the load percentages and stuff. So this is bringing... Oh! It's picking up goods from here. Ah, okay. I follow you now. That's what that's about. Okay, cool. So then it's picking up the goods there. It's dropping it off here. And then it's going to here to get more stuff to go. Okay, so this is a really great example, albeit a little complicated for my smooth brain. But this is another way, as I was saying, is we want to keep the trains as utilized as possible. You do not want a train going half of its route, hauling nothing. So, Bogus has done an interesting job on making that work. Again, it hurts my brain to think about it. Let's also talk about the signs, right? I think I've done this in a couple of the summaries, but it's good to talk about base functionality in case this is someone's first time seeing one of these videos. And what this does is this limits town growth. Towns or cities can only grow where there are roads. They can't build buildings where there are not roads. So what Bogus has done is limited the growth of the town by placing these signs. You might say, why would you want the growth to be limited? You can think of it like trying to funnel the town to grow in a certain way, to get closer or farther away from stations or whatever. So let's see, is there an example here that would be good? So Reed Town, I can see the downtown areas over here, right? So to get more passengers to grow, more people to grow this way, you set signs on this part here, and that stops them from growing a southwest. And the town does a check. It's like, well, I can grow now. Where should I grow? Grow northeast, and that makes this station more viable, right? You got more passengers, you got more goods going through. That's kind of the idea. Interesting intersections as well through here. I like that a lot. It confuses my brain to no end, but still pretty interesting. So, Bogus, nice run. Teensy weensy transport. And last but not least, I kind of forgot how well I did, so we're going to find out. This is my run. John T. Megacycle Transport. I keep it simple. I just can't be bothered. 304 mil. So, let's see here. 304.3 million. USD. Not too bad, not too bad. I did 20 trains. I did way less trains than the other players. That might be a good example of why I underperformed a little bit. But we'll see. Let's check this out real fast, like. Let's see. My income was 69 million. As this number just haunting me. I'm not even trying for it to be there. It's just always there, I guess. Whatever, I don't care. We already did that. Let's talk about industry directory. I didn't even mess with oil, so change your face. Livestock, green. I did wood. I did no oil. I didn't mess with oil at all. Oh, I did have a rig. Okay, well, whatever. Iron ore, steel. Yeah, I didn't do any oil. I didn't touch coal at all, and you can see 7 tons of coal. That was why I was thinking, like, yeah, you can't delete an industry. So here's that same coal thing making 7 tons of coal, but it just hasn't been deleted. And that's what I'm saying. I was thinking that if it's the last industry, it won't ever be deleted, because it was 7 tons of coal for a very long time. There were a couple messages that I got. It's like, the Reedtown, or was it Teedstone? Was it Teenstone? No, Reedtown. Reedtown coal mine increases production by like 15%. And I was like, holy crap, 15 of 7. Oh, I don't think that number's even going to change. It's literally point. Well, it would change if it was 15%, but if it was 10%, that'd just be 0.7. It's like, cool, it was producing 7 before, and it's producing 7 now. Whee! Anyway, there's 2 things I wanted to talk about with my run. First of all, I tried to also do the thing I've been talking about, which was maximize train utilization to try to ensure that a train was always busy. Always busy. So I had a couple of... Okay. Just close on me, why don't you? Because I hit the button. How dare you do what I say? We're going to go to Teedingston Exchange. We're going to go to X Springs Transfer to drop off the goods. We're going to go to Spring Halt to pick up goods. And then we're going to Teedingstone South to drop off the goods. So the only real times the trains don't have any freight is this little leg right here. I'm trying to... I wish there was a painting tool. Like I just scribble, like a football coach. I don't do sports. I'm assuming sportsmans. Ones who participate in sports. I don't know. Could paint on the whiteboard. Oh, here we go. Oh, defensive line and offense and kick 'em ball and sports. On 3, sports. And the other place that it's not doing anything is right here. This little lip right here. I'm bringing wood to this sawmill, and that's dropping off the goods here. And I only really had 2 trains. I built larger trains this time. What's your total cargo? Oh, I guess not much bigger, because that's still 8. I thought I built 10s, but that's okay. The passenger stuff, the normal stuff, hauling in between all the individual cities. Don't look at this. I was unhappy with this the second I did it. And then I was like, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then I proceeded to not fix it. I did something like this for my livestock and my grain. I just did 2 trains, keep them on the same thing, and just boom, 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 boom. I was hoping that was going to increase production. It didn't work out as well as I would have liked. It worked out actually okay for the lumberyard, or what's it called? A forest. It worked pretty well for the forest. Aside from that, not too much. Let's see, what else to talk about? Oh, yeah, the other thing. So, I wasn't making nearly as much coin as I wanted. So, I went into here, and, oh, maybe it's not there. Hold on. I'll find it. There was somewhere I went, and I'm like, holy crap, I'm paying that much money for what? And I freaked out a little bit. No. No, it's somewhere in here. Once I find it, I'll talk through it, but I gotta remember where the crap it is. Is it? No. It's somewhere in here. And I don't want to spoil it until I find it. It was really interesting because... here it is. Found it. So, infrastructure. Take a look at the entire layout of everything that we have. And I'll give you just a second. Tell me if anything jumps out at you. Cool, the second's over. The answer is signals. I'm paying just about as much in signals as I am for electrified railroad. Now, would trimming this up save me the game? No. I was 100 million something behind 3 other players. But what's important to note is this is something to care about. What I did was I built signals every 2 squares. And by cutting that out in a lot of places, oh, like here, now it's like 4 squares. I cut my bill from like, I don't know, was it 4 million to this 2 million or whatever? And that was actually a gigantic help. I didn't think signals would be expensive. Isn't it just a circuit board and a light bulb? No, I'm sorry. It's a circuit board and 2 light bulbs and a weatherproof container of some sort, right? Like a lunchbox or something. I don't know. But this is what freaked me out. I was poking around. I'm like, how can I save a little bit of money? I could have cut down my signal upkeep so far that I could have probably built 2 airports if I wanted. So that was something that was a really hard lesson to learn because I was like, man, I know electrified railroad is not cheap, especially with inflation on and everything, but this is ridiculous. So if I learned anything this session, it's not only how cool the other players' builds are, but also this thing is if you're gonna build out signals and stuff, if you're playing on high maintenance upkeep or whatever, be a little more loose on it. I do 2 length normally because it gives me a little more peace of mind. I think it allows trains to move a little bit faster because there's less of a big gap when you have a highly saturated rail network, right? The name of the game is throughput. That's really the name of the game. So if we go to map of the world and we turn this on, I can't zoom in. But believe you me, like if you've got a lot of congestion, having smaller, they're called blocks, right? The area between each signal is a block. By having smaller blocks, you can have a lot more control when stuff enters and exits things. So that's really kind of the brunt of it. So infrastructure played a big game here. I was really happy with how I performed, to be honest. I could have done better with more passenger stuff. I could have laid out my stuff a little bit better. And this is a great example why I'm like, man, when someone can lay it out and it looks good with clean lines, I love it. Because I get this bow tie looking nonsense and I don't really know what to do with it. Did I do a thanks, John? I didn't do a thanks, John. I guess I was kind of lazy about it. Anyway, that is it. That was this tournament, the Tiny Transportation. Let's go ahead and talk some numbers, shall we? Let's see here. Trying to do this. I usually have this already written up. I didn't write this up yet. The Dude, congratulations. 1.327 billion with a B. Very impressive. Guild Games is next at 484 million. Cyberpsycho is next with 429.4 million. JMegs, 304.3 million. Bo Gus, 251.6 million. And then, unfortunately, like I said, Cinder Elm Creek and Zemi Zeph failed to qualify, so to speak. But still, this was a lot of fun. Thank you all for participating. Thank you for your builds and your styles and everything. If anyone who's watching this would like to join us for our next tournament, join the Discord server in the description of this video on YouTube. In there, you'll find a link to Megacycle Entertainment's Discord server. I host all this stuff. I host the infrastructure. I host the games. I host everything. It's free. It's fun. Come on, meet some new friends. That's all I say. Meet some new friends. Join in the next one. Have some fun. Yeah. I think that's really all there is to it. Thanks for joining me. And I hope to catch you next time.